Go live. Here we are.
Hey.
We've been talking for the last 7 minutes, thinking we were live.
No.
And then we just noticed the chat. People are like, technical difficulties? Why didn't they start at 7? And we're like, we did start at 7.
Oh, man. Well, we had a great conversation
We did.
with you guys already.
We've been having an amazing conversation without you guys. Man, my face is turning red. How embarrassing. So let's do all of that again, Eddie.
Yeah. Thank you, Snakebite, first of all, for your support of the channel.
First of all, that's what we started with.
That's very kind and outstanding
$5
before we
super
even
chat.
started. Oh, and
Tyler,
Tyler, we're talking about you.
Yes, Tyler.
Long-time
Tyler James
supporter.
is here in the chat. He is a longtime supporter. I spent the last week with him at Bone. We had an amazing time together. He found some awesome stuff. Not me so much. I kind of struck out at that event, but we'll talk more about Bone in a little while. There was a go live button. I didn't even notice it. We were just,
Must be new. I don't know who put that there.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so what did we talk about already, Eddie? We were saying we haven't seen Eddie in a while, but that's not really true because we did the big series.
Yeah.
Over the winter time.
And I disappeared, in a couple senses.
But now he's back.
I'm back, and we did share that vlog together. That was fun, you know.
We did some metal detecting and some exploring.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't watch the vlogs. If you happen to miss that one, that's a good one to go back and watch because it is mostly metal detecting, Eddie and I, and exploring some woods. What else did we say? We were pointing out some people in the chat. We saw Greg Manchester, who I did a whole bunch of bottle digging with in the fall, well, mostly last year. He's in the chat. Who else? There's a whole bunch of people. I wish that I had hit that button.
Yeah.
Oh, Mason Merck, we saw him.
George Manchester?
Greg Manchester, yeah, I just said
Manchester, I'm so sorry.
All right, we're starting
Too many
over.
names.
Hey, everybody.
Yes, hello.
Thanks for joining the spring live stream, kicking off the summer schedule. This last winter was actually kind of special because usually it's every metal detecting videos every other week, but we had like a good 5-6 week chunk that it was just series, Grave of Gold series. So we missed out on a bunch of metal detecting videos there. Eddie's mustache is on point, Brandon says.
Hey, thank you.
I agree.
Thank you very much. It's been, an evolving entity.
So we also mentioned that I messed up number 2 for the night. I forgot to charge part of our lav system. So if our audio voices cut out, let us know, and we will switch to our backup mic, which I did. I did set up a backup mic just in case.
Yeah, the technology.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of which, you can do it again.
I don't. What are we going? What are we doing? Oh, right.
I don't remember.
I don't remember why we talked about it, but we have the website link down here, gmd.us, in case you need to go to the website. Why were we talking about the website?
I don't remember, but it's just impressive seeing the text added.
It's what we were talking about is for folks that are new to the stream, we apparently we're new to the streams as well. We just talk for 10 minutes without anybody seeing it. Every 15 minutes or so, we are going to be doing a giveaway. Trivia question, you answer the question correctly, and then you will be directed to gmd.us to pick out a piece of apparel that you like, and then email me at greenmountainmetalldetecting@gmail.com to let me know what you want when you win. We just got another super chat from B3, $9.99, Evapo Rust fee. Thank you. Yeah, I actually, we'll just kick it off with this. Just Wednesday, actually, I found what somebody in the comments of the Facebook post said was my most valuable and best find ever.
Really?
Yeah. You want to see it?
Yeah.
I have this set up now so I can show you people photos as well. So we switch over to the photo section here. Look, we're down here now. Hey guys.
Oh.
And this is what I found.
Whoa, that's awesome.
It's a Leatherman. I've never
Wow.
owned a Leatherman. And,
Great thing to have.
I haven't told anything about Eddie anything about this. If you were to guess, if you were to buy that Leatherman brand new on Amazon, how much would you guess it costs?
Oh, I don't know, like $60 maybe?
That is a $150 Leatherman.
Whoa!
Crazy,
Holy
right?
smokes.
So I grabbed it, brought it home. I put it in the Evaporust. Thanks again for the $9.99 B3. And here it is. It's essentially brand new,
Wow.
right? And we were talking, me and the Facebook community here, like when we look at these tools on here, like the knife, for example, like it was clearly never used. Like there isn't a single nick on the blade unless this person was sharpening it, right?
Yeah, could be. They could have just taken care of it.
Right. But here's the thing, is the date code in here? 2005. It seems impossible that somebody would buy a Leatherman and not use it for nearly 20 years. Unless this thing has been sitting in the woods for 20 years. That also seems impossible. I mean, it's stainless steel, but come on.
Yeah.
Right? So anyway,
Yeah, maybe it just adorned the, and you found it in a little nylon
I did.
sheath thing there.
I did. Yeah.
Could have just adorned someone's belt as like an everyday carry tool.
And they just never used it?
Never used it, yeah.
That could be. That could be. But you can see from the photos, there's like, it's full of roots and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So it's been in there at least a year, I would say. All right. Anyway, that's enough on the Leatherman.
Very good find.
Yeah, it's a very cool find. And the only thing that I needed to do was buy the little eyeglass screwdriver bit, because that was not stainless and it basically crumbled into nothing. So that's pretty cool. And then we go back to the main camera. Check this out. Dun, da, da, da.
Oh, I like
Technology.
this. It's incredible.
Um,
What will they do next?
yeah, so thank you for the Evaporust fund. I have like a huge tub of it. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. So as I mentioned, we're going to be jumping to metal detecting videos every single week again, and I've got a bunch saved up. Of course, the bone event last week, and I went back to the kind of drained lake and found even more stuff. I found a barber $50 there in one of the most recent videos. Went back, found even more awesome old coins. And then the trip on Wednesday where I found the Leatherman, I found a couple other awesome stuff. Super old silver coin.
Wait a minute. I'm
What?
sorry. I see Ben Harper in the chat.
Come on!
Sam Bennington Triangle Time Travel. Hello, Ben.
Where's Ben? Oh,
He's
he
there, I
is.
promise. Look, I noticed
Yeah.
the picture. It stuck out because it was him with his prized treasure.
That's right. If you guys don't know who
I
Ben
love
Harper
that's his
is,
picture too.
you can head to gmmd.us, and there's a Vault of DeGrau section of the website, and you can watch the whole adventure of the Vault of DeGrau and then the grand finale with Ben Harper. Thanks for joining us. Kid Dig says, does Eddie still detect?
Once in a while.
How rude.
At minimum. Just out. It was only a couple weeks ago, right?
That's right.
It's only a couple weeks ago.
Yep, Eddie invited me to an awesome property in New York, and it was a
Yeah.
large farm property. We didn't really find.
Yeah, we didn't find anything really.
Well, that's not true. There was a house that we did some detecting around, and we found some Indian head scents.
Mm-hmm.
We found a military button.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
None of that stuff made it into the video, but
It was more of a cool time
old key,
exploring, It's an old foundation, an old creepy basement. So
but I would say Eddie does not metal detect without me.
I need peer support.
You also need a metal detector that's not broken.
I'm working on mine. All right. Yeah. It's true. Mine has sustained some damage.
Brian Dunworth says, one of your videos helped me identify a coin I found in 1982. You mean you found it in 1982 and then you just hung on to it not knowing it was until one of the videos? That's awesome. I'm glad that we were able to help you out with that. Kid Dig says he's not being rude. He just misses seeing you.
Oh,
I miss seeing
thanks.
you too. But I don't know if I'm like blowing you up here, Eddie. But Eddie used to live on the other side of town. But Eddie recently moved, in the process of moving, to a house that is approximately, I can run there.
Yes.
It's like he's on my jogging route now. I can run
yeah.
there in about 10 minutes. It's like a 1-minute drive.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see him more.
Running buddies.
Mason Merck was saying Mason was looking for Eddie at Bone. He wanted to make sure he was really alive. Yeah. Well, as you can probably see, all of the technology we have going on here, he very well
knows?
could be CG.
Yeah.
CGI.
Maybe I'm not.
He's like a hologram.
Yeah. Like, didn't they do that with Tupac, you know?
I think they did.
Yeah, we have the technology. We've had it. Was I ever real?
Good question. Okay, so we're going to do our first giveaway. These are always fun because always somebody gets upset because they say that they got the right answer first, but we didn't see it.
And you might have. I don't know. We're
true.
just going on what we see first.
So we have a live chat over here. I could probably show it to you, but
yeah.
I'm not that advanced.
Well, just tune in another week and it's all there, right?
That's
You
true.
can see, yeah.
That's true.
You know, I'd say just upgrade your service or router then.
Right. You got to get a lower ping.
Yeah.
So we're going to ask a question related to a video on this channel since the last live stream. So since November, which honestly isn't a whole lot of videos because a lot of it was taken up by the series. And the first person to answer the question correctly, that has the answer that we have written down here, is going to win a piece of apparel of their choice off of the website, gmmd.us.
Can you make it glow too?
Probably, not this
Like a
second.
little starburst.
I'm afraid that if I hit the wrong button, this whole thing's going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can just add the effects with my hands.
Okay. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to ask the question, and then the chat's going to go nuts with everybody answering the question, usually mostly incorrectly. And we're just going to be watching for the first one that we see that's correct. Sometimes, depending on your location and your internet speed, different words
There's
are going
always
to be.
one of them.
Yeah. Jay Nolara already said banana. You win. That was the answer. That's the answer to all of them.
Every year.
Did you bring one today with you, or?
No, I didn't.
I was just with Tyler, Tyler James, and we were in my car together driving to another site, and he had asked if I made you a leather banana holster for the belt. And I said, no, not yet.
I do have the plastic one. It's like a little
Right,
like
that's what I
Western
said.
style holster.
Right, but maybe if we wrapped it, because I don't think the leather would be have enough structural integrity to protect it from a day of metal detecting. So if we just wrapped the plastic in leather, that might be the ticket. Okay, here's the question. And Eddie, this is the word that we're looking for.
Yes.
It's actually kind of difficult.
Yeah, this is a challenging one. We're starting off with a toughie.
Okay, here we go. Here's the question. First answer wins. In my top 10 list, what was number 1? Go. So that video was around January, early January. I always do a top finds. Silver $50, snakebite, incorrect. Carol said hammered. You got to be a little more specific. Ooh, people are having trouble.
It's a pretty tough one, to be fair.
Yeah.
Be very, very particular.
The top 10 list, Carol said hammered coin. Again, you got to be more specific. Jay Nola was close, but not. Brendan is the closest one so far. But we're looking for more specific.
No one gets it. I say we give it to banana.
A lot of people are saying hammered silver, and technically that's correct, but I'm looking for a very... Tyler James is, again, we're getting closer, but we're looking for a specific name. I don't know why anybody else would remember this but me, because I was the one who found it. But we might have to, if nobody gets it, we might have to go back. Tyler James is even closer. We might have to go back and give it to the first person who said.
This one's a nail biter.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hessian's Pay is close. This might be the longest it's taken. There it is. Brandon.
Whoa.
Thaler. You got it. Brandon.
Excellent.
Oh man. Knudsen? Brandon Knudsen.
Great work. That was a really tough one.
It was, because it was, it's not a American English word. Right?
Congrats.
Yeah, so a bunch of people said they didn't even know there was a top 10. If you go back every January, like around the 1st, I do a kind of a recap of the year. And this year I kind of framed it in a top 10 list. And number 1 was the Taller. And in fact, it's a 1/48th of a taller. And I've been told that taller is the origin of the word dollar, which is pretty interesting. And it is, 1745 in Vermont, and we're assuming it was a Hessian's Pay, and a Hessian was a hired German fighting for the British, which is pretty awesome. So go ahead and, Brendan, go to the website, gmmd.us. Go to the apparel section, t-shirt, hoodie, whatever you see there that you like, and then send me an email, and we'll get you what you're looking for. That was a tough one. Not the rest of them are not that tough, I promise. I was just kind of going in chronological order. Nice.
We got a theme song for trivia we gotta come up with.
Oh, shit. Have it play during the trivia.
Yeah.
You're right.
And then a winner theme. We can do this.
Kyle says, I just watched that dang video the other day. Shame on me.
Come on, Kyle. Take notes, man.
Brad, any chance of some underwater detecting in the future, Sid says. I would like to do that. I've never done anything scuba ever. I know that they have like these things that like sit up on top of the water in a little raft with like a little pump, and they kind of send air down, and you don't need to buy air, be scuba certified or anything to use those. It's just like seems like another hobby that you need to invest time in, Yeah. Like, for example, the example I usually use is like metal detecting and video filming. I feel like those are two different hobbies, and if you're not like really into both of them, things seem to fizzle out.
To be fair, I think we've incorporated a lot of hobbies. We've hiked out to sites. We've kayaked. We've bicycled out to one site. Do you remember that?
I remember.
We've done this a couple times. Been on boats.
Yeah, but riding a bicycle isn't quite scuba diving.
No, it's a hobby though.
I guess so.
People wouldn't do it.
Tyler sends a $5 super chat. You should write a trivia theme song that plays while people... Yeah, we were just saying that.
Absolutely. We're on the same page.
Yes.
We're going to write this.
Next time we'll have a trivia. It'll be like reminiscent of Jeopardy, but with a little Green Mountain spin.
Yeah, I think it's going to be something totally of its own. That's how it always starts, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's going to sound like this, and then we just mold it.
We'll just see.
It's going to sound like,
I will say, my videos that are in water, not underwater, but in water, always do better in terms of views than all of the other ones. For some reason. I don't know why. Like one video that was in like this little swimming hole, this kind of rocky swimming hole that is local to us. That video, which was 2 years ago, got another 100,000 views this month. Just inexplicably just went nuts again for some reason. Like I didn't even really find anything. I found like pocket change and a couple silver coins. I don't know. Can't explain it. The next prize should be a day in metal detecting with Brad and Eddie, said Mag 2 D5.
That's interesting. I also see someone in the chats from like Japan.
Come on.
How are we gonna swing that?
I don't know. What do you think airline tickets from Japan to Vermont cost?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Not cheap.
More than a hoodie. Chip says, what is the deepest your metal detector can detect? I would say that depends on what it is, what the metal is in the ground. If it was like a septic tank, maybe 1.5 foot, maybe. But if it was like a tiny little like earring or something, maybe 6 inches. It really depends on how big the thing is, and of course what metal detector you're using. But my metal detector, if it's like a big thing, maybe 1 foot, maybe a little bit more. $13 Japan and Vermont. 12. That's not bad. $1,700. There you go. Thanks, Tyler. Maybe next year.
Wow. That's quite a bit.
So yeah, so this last week, Eddie was busy. Everybody was asking about you,
I
Eddie.
know, I'm sorry. I feel very guilty. I was going to come over Sunday.
You were, but I didn't go Sunday.
But you didn't go Sunday.
Because Sunday was the seeded hunt, which if you're new to metal detecting, seeded means the event coordinators put coins in the ground in this kind of roped off area, and then everybody at the event goes and just digs them up again. Not my thing, my kind of thing.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
No.
I'm not really into it either myself.
So I didn't go that day. But the first 4 days, I went and I linked up with 4 other guys because Eddie wasn't with me. So I went,
let me down again.
me, Tyler, a gentleman named Matt, and Joe and his dad, and the 5 of us usually spent the first half of the day at the Bone sites, the Best of the Northeast sites, and then we went out elsewhere. We went on little adventures, knocking on doors, cold calling businesses. The craziest, I wish I filmed this. Let me tell this story real quick because it's so unbelievable. In terms of metal detecting permission asking.
This is a new story? Have I heard this?
You've never heard this. It
I can't
happened.
wait.
Yeah, so there's this I won't say the name of the farm, but there was this very historic farm. The place was built in the 1700s, and tons of property. And now it's kind of like a school or an educational facility in some way. Anyway, so I don't remember who found this property, who thought of this property. It might have been Tyler. But our friend Joe was like, well, let's just call him up. And he called him up, and we got like Muzak, waiting music,
Yeah.
right? And we just got like a press this if you want to talk to this person, press this. So he just like pushes 0 to try to talk to anybody. And he got like the co-executive director or something. And he's like, hey, it's me and like 4 other guys, and we were kind of wondering if we could maybe do some metal detecting. And the lady was like, yeah, sure. He's like, wait, really? Like me and like 4 other guys can come and like metal detect
holes?
And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, do you want to see anything that we find? And she's like, no, that's okay.
This isn't like a situation like our Hill incident, was it?
No, it wasn't. Well, not really, because we showed up and we were in this field across the road, right, from the main house. Because you're always like, we don't want to get right up next to the house. So we were across the road in the field, and then the lady comes out and she starts yelling at the closest person, and it was Joe, and he went over and talked to her. And then he comes over to us, and she's like, she said that the old stagecoach road goes right by the house, and we should just go over there.
What?
Okay, so we went over by the
goodness.
And then the tippy top person showed up, the director, the executive director showed up, and she's like, do you know you guys are like trespassing? And he's like, oh no, we talked to so and she said it was fine. She's like, oh okay, have fun. And that was it.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we didn't find very much there, but
that's amazing.
That's how easy it can be to get permissions to historic properties.
Wow. That's incredible.
I've never witnessed something like that happen before. But
No, me neither. And I have horse, I have a little, I have like a little bad flashbacks back to this hill incident I recommend.
Right.
Can I tell the vague story?
Yeah, tell it.
Yeah, I mean, one time we had this great permission through a friend we knew who knew a landowner with a very historical piece of property.
Mansion.
Gorgeous,
You can
yeah,
call it a mansion.
freaking mansion. It was gorgeous. And we show up and there's like massive silver coins everywhere. We're like frenzy mode, like this is incredible. And we're like begged to come back. Can we come back one more day, please? Oh, absolutely. I'll talk to the landowner. They'll have no problem. And we're out there just hammering it the next day. And it was like, not even like 10 in the morning. And the owner comes out and is like, enough is enough. You've mowed the lawn enough. We're like, mowed the lawn? No, ma'am. Do you understand what we're doing? She had no clue.
Yeah, I
she
think
thought
there was
we were here mowing the lawn.
bit of...
A big miscommunication that had happened.
I think there was a little bit of dementia involved as well, because she was like 98 years old.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
Because she thought we were like weed whacking.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got chased off, and in that same day,
Yeah, we got kicked out of another place.
and we felt
Yeah.
so defeated. We went to like a construction site.
Yeah, they were tearing up an old sidewalk, and we just ran into the first guy with a hard hat. Like, hey, man, would it be cool if we were possibly able to... They're like, yeah, I don't care, whatever.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah. And then some guy with a clipboard came like, oh, what are you guys doing? Get out of here. Shoot, shoot. And, like, shoot us out. We're like, he said it was okay. Like, I don't care. Go. Like,
Yeah, we got kicked out of there too.
it's like, we've never been kicked out. And we were like 0 for 2 in one day.
But that was like our first permission that was not like family or like
Right.
a very, very close friend.
Yeah.
And so we got kicked out twice in one day, and we're like, man, this is...
That was
sucks.
a terrible day.
But anyway, this permission of bone was not that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I know. That is so cool.
So we had a blast at Bone. I did the last day. I ended up finding a silver $50 and a couple other silver coins. But everybody else around me just like killed it. Matt, who was with us, won find of the week with these incredible silver cufflinks.
Oh.
Tyler got a half real. Joe got a Hibernia and a bunch of silver coins. It was a good Bone event. Probably maybe
I missed
the
out.
best I've ever done at a Bone event. Found the most stuff.
Oh, I missed out.
So that video is going to be in a couple weeks probably. But I've been totally neglecting the chat. Sorry, everybody.
Chat, it is also coming up on the next trivia time.
It is. But we also started 10 minutes late because we forgot to hit the button. We forgot to hit the go live button.
That's true. Although I was comfortable blaming YouTube or something else.
Beeping
Entirely.
Adventure says, I'm new to the channel. Do you do much ring recovery? I have never done a ring recovery, actually.
Either.
I have not been called upon to go find somebody's ring, nor have I ever found a ring and then been able to return it. Typically, the place that I and we go metal detecting are places that have been uninhabited for hundreds of years, and anything we find can't really be returned. But actually, I do have a friend.
I was asked once.
Really? Did you find it?
It was not what I anticipated. So, like, yeah, obviously, like you said, most of our metal detecting is in, like, wooded, middle of nowhere areas. So I guess that's what was in my mind. Like, yeah, I just lost it the other day. I know exactly in the small little area. Yeah, something we hear all the time. So I'm like, all right, let me go check it out. And it was, like, right along this very busy highway and just littered with aluminum cans everywhere.
remember
and
that.
garbage. Yeah, I was there. And still, I still gave it a valiant effort. I was there, like, an hour or two. And even they were like, yeah, forget it. Just give up. You're not going to find it. It's like, all right.
Oh, it's still there. Will you want to tell me where it was?
Yeah. Maybe someone else found it.
No, maybe. Matt says they changed find. So there's Matt. Matt was with me at the event. Matthew Foskett. They changed. What does it say? They changed the find of the week to the Luckin booth. I still like my cufflinks though. That's right. I do. I feel like I saw something about that on Facebook. So somebody found a Luckin booth brooch, which honestly is an amazing find. But didn't they not find it on Bone property? Like they found it like on an adjacent property, not supplied by the event. I feel like that doesn't really count.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm
Like
the same
if
thing.
you like if we were at Bone and then we got in our cars and drove back to Vermont and found something, like that wouldn't count for Bone of the find of the week.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was next door on a neighbor's property. They knocked on the door and asked permission. But it's tricky. But yes, so
Well,
Matt found these amazing cufflinks.
And you know, one thing I don't like about that precedent too, if you honor that, I feel like it does some bad disservice to maybe the hobby as a whole. You know, because last thing you want to do is when you hold one of these events in like a small local town, is make a big conundrum about, you know, you hear the stories of, oh, a bunch of guys knocking on everyone's doors, disturbing people. I mean, there's respectful ways to do it. It's not to say everyone's disrespectful, but I think neighborhoods as a whole will get a little frowny about it if you get a lot of people continuously knocking and asking about that.
I don't think there was any drama in terms of that. I think that everybody was pretty respectful.
Yeah.
But as terms of the Luck and Booth, I don't know. Sounds like an amazing find, though. I didn't get to see it in person. We have a place close to Albany that does a yearly metal detecting event. Where's that, Sean? I try to stay within like a 2-hour radius of where I live, and Albany's in there, so I could probably go to that one as well. Anyway. So Bone was a blast. There's going to be a video of that coming up in the next few weeks. And I wanted to mention there are going to be Blackthorn, it's called. I was going to talk about that. That's the... The labs died. I just saw a disc ejected. Hopefully everybody can hear us. It's not going to sound as good, I don't think. Mike dead. Can you still hear us, Tyler? No sound still? Very quiet.
Check. Still quiet?
Check. Very low.
Not as good. Oh no.
Sorry, everybody. Technical difficulties.
We gotta calibrate. Recalibrating.
Input. Check. How about now? Can you hear us now? No sound. Music is off. Good. All good. Turn up mic volume. Audio going out. I've got sound. Good now. Okay.
All right. Sounds like the consensus is it's better.
Good. Better.
Awesome. Right. Loud now. All right.
Check.
Perfect.
Super loud now. Good sound.
Is anybody out there?
Let me just turn it down just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
All right. Yes.
All right, let's do the giveaway. I don't know. Let's do the giveaways before this whole thing blows up.
Yeah. Good idea. Giveaway. Trivia time.
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't be too loud. Trivia time. Okay. So, this is we're moving ahead from November, from the beginning of the winter schedule. We made it past the top 10, and now we are in the Grave of Gold series. This is going to be a question coming from the Grave of Gold series.
Legendary series.
So if you didn't watch that, fortunately, you're going to be out of luck on this trivia question.
But there's still time to watch it for next trivia questions.
If you watch it on like 10 times speed right now, you might be able to get this question.
Maybe.
Okay, so I'm going to ask it, and we're going to look for the answer in the chat. There's 338 people watching, suffering through this technical disaster. But we'll get through it together. Okay, here's the question. Are we ready? Throughout the series, there was a time-traveling animal following us around. What kind of animal was that? Dog. Elk. Carol W. That was an easy one, I hope. Carol W. Go ahead and visit my website, gmmd.us. Pick out a piece of apparel on there, shirt, hoodie, whatever you like, and then email me at greenmountainmetaldetecting@gmail.com, and we'll get you whatever color and size that you prefer. Now, I have a photo to show you of the elk, but the microphones are going to be messed up, so you're going to have to bear with me on that. Here we go.
Get ready.
Oh no, it's already set. It's still set. We're good. We're good. We're good.
There?
Yep. Where is it? Elk.
Oh.
Here we go.
Ah, yes. I don't know if you read the credits in full. I starred as a couple roles in the series. Yes.
Yeah, so as we learned...
It's a rarer species of the genus elk.
Yes, so we were like, how do we want to have something time travel-y in every episode, and we're like, all right, there's going to be an animal sound that we hear. And my parents had these antlers in what we called the bar room growing up, which is where we filmed that final scene with Oliver Perry. And I was like, perfect. We have these elk antlers. Elk used to exist in Vermont until they were hunted to extermination. And it was like Eddie kind of held them around the tree. Perfect shot. And then we read a comment. They're like, those are actually caribou antlers. It's like, oh,
Oops.
didn't do my research, I guess.
I thought it looked great.
Yeah. I mean, no, most people won't know. Yeah, so Carol W. Go ahead and send the email and and check out the website and pick out something you like. Elk.
Did I do a good job?
You
Was
did
I
a
good
fantastic. Yeah, we included some of that in the bloopers as well. But like you did the bobbing of the elk. We did a lot of elk research.
A couple trials of the bobbing of the
Yeah.
elk antlers. I'll have you know.
That's right.
It's kind of an art, a lost art. So.
I was like, do we do like stock footage of an elk? Because that would be the easiest thing, just to buy some footage of an elk.
We're crafty though.
But yeah,
we're
like,
do-it-yourselfers. You know.
Let's take these antlers of a different animal and hold them and act as an elk. I think it worked fine.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Sean, would you like me to send a link for Blackthorn? So, events coming up. Blackthorn, Lost Treasure Weekend, June 13th through 16th. I've been talking to the owner of that event and trying to figure out some dates that work. My problem is that the 16th is my wedding anniversary, and it's also Father's Day that weekend. So I'm probably going to be tied up Saturday and Sunday. Thursday and Friday, trying to make it work. So I might be there for that. Sounds like it's an awesome event though. So if you are into metal detecting events where there are both, I believe there was a seated hunt as well as natural hunts, definitely go check out that event. Just Google Lost Treasure Weekend Blackthorn. It's in East Durham, New York. It seems like it's going to be an awesome event. And then hopefully both Eddie and I, Brandon's like, you can rent elks cheap these days. Is that true?
What?
For what? Dig It Dude, the second.
Dig It Dude, The Gathering.
The Gathering, the second. November 1st through the 3rd in Somerset County, New Jersey. Eddie and I went to that last year.
Yeah, that was fun.
We had an awesome time. We hung out with Jason, the Quarter Hoarder YouTube channel, pretty much the whole day, one day that we were there. The second day, we ended up filming the end of episode 1 of Grave of Gold in the hotel room.
Yeah.
And then we went to Medieval Times.
That was awesome, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. I fought for that, man. It almost wasn't in the schedule to even go to Medieval Times.
It wasn't. We were supposed to go to a metal detecting event.
I was a little pouty baby and was like, I want to go to Medieval Times. We gotta do this right here.
Yeah.
And yeah. Worth it, right?
It was a lot of fun.
It was great.
It was a lot of fun. It looks like the chat froze, so we can't see what you're saying. If you are saying, if we're even still live.
Oh,
Who knows at this point?
Oh gosh.
We're just gonna keep talking as if. Oh, there we go.
Nice.
The chat caught up, I guess. What else did I want to talk about? The new graphics on the screen have been somewhat controversial. Not quite as controversial as the Grave of Gold series, but there's been some negativity in regards to the sliding. I don't know if you've probably ever even seen them. I put a sliding meter at the top of the screen when my metal detector beeps, indicating what kind of metal it may be. And then I also have some like little starburst, electrical starbursts coming off the coil. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I can hear you barely, Mary Kate says. Mary Kay's treasure say. Well, you know, let me just turn it up just a little bit again.
Yeah.
How's this? We turned it up a little bit. And the tone lines around the coil. Right, Mason Merck. I feel like the sliding scale at the top is like game changer.
Yeah, well, I think, like, you know, and you gotta remember, this content's for everyone, so people who have never been metal detecting, you know, it helps a lot understand and interpret what they're seeing. I remember me as a new metal detectorist watching videos and guys like, it's an 88! Oh, it's a squeaker! And it's going, you know, I'm like, I don't know what that means. Everyone's excited. What's happening? Like, you know, it didn't give a lot of context.
Right. Like, I used to not really say numbers of what the target was because every metal detector, it's going to be a little bit different from detector to detector. But then people were like, just say what the number is. Just say what the number. Okay. So I got the live cam and then I started saying numbers. But then people like, what does that even mean? Right. So then I added the sliding bar. And I think that the sliding bar is like, I feel like it's a good idea. Some people were like, we don't need that. See that? It's, well, yeah, but I think that a lot of people who watch the videos, the majority of the people who watch the videos don't metal detect. They don't know what the numbers mean. And it's good to have kind of some indication of, you know, why am I taking the time to dig this hole? Now the starburst coming out of the coil, I did that for the first time for when Vern and I were together, and he was kind of off in the distance and he got a target. I wanted to show that it was his machine and not my machine, so I made these little starbursts come out of the coil. And I was like, that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll do it every single time the metal detector beeps. That might be overkill, but I feel like more flashiness and stuff to see on the screen, the better. Right?
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Let me know what you folks think. Write a comment, not necessarily in the live chat, but down below the video. Do you like the sliding scale? Do you like the fireworks on the coil?
I think it's fun, and I'm tired of pretending it's not.
I like your feelings on that. I feel the same way. The problem is though, it's like a ton of work to animate the sliding bar. Yeah. To match up with the beeping and making it go to the right spot and all that stuff. Pretty soon I'm just going to be doing all the videos just in front of a green screen, you know, and that could be like on the moon if we wanted to. Yeah. What do you think you could find metal detecting on the moon, do you think?
Ooh, moon rocks and
spaceships.
Alien artifacts.
For sure. All right. How about an X shows up on the ground when it's picked up by the detector? I could do that. You know how like in like football games they have like the lines and then like somehow the players like run over the top of it. Like
that's right.
I don't know how they do that. I guess probably because the grass is green, which is like one big green screen, right?
Yeah, that's pretty clever.
Maybe I could do that. Speaking of an X on the ground, I also wanted to address the infamous April Fool's video that, if you didn't see the April Fool's video, I should have queued it up here so that I could show it to you. There was an X on the ground in my garden, and I used my boy's metal detector, which is a Nokta. It's not like a Fisher Price or anything. It's just like a kid's metal detector, and it gives like a smiley face thumbs up when it's a good target. And I found a gold coin, which was not real, of course. And then I cleaned it first with a wire brush and then sandpaper and then an angle grinder. And it seems like a lot of people are still watching it now that April 1st is over with, right? people are still watching it not knowing that it was an April Fool's video. And it doesn't seem like they make it all the way to the end, because they stop watching it at the wire brush and they just leave a whole bunch of negativity, like fake, why would you ever clean it with a wire brush? And I just want to be like, just watch till the end. It's obviously a joke.
Yeah.
But I guess
it
that's
goes
just
without saying it was a joke, but yeah, I can see that with that.
But I guess that's just the nature of the internet.
Yes.
People don't have the attention span to watch a 50-second video all the way to the end.
Yeah.
But also I can guess, if you're like a numismatic lover, like you would probably stop watching once I start rubbing it with my thumb.
Yeah.
And then just like probably turn off your phone and go do something else once I start rubbing it with a wire brush.
They're probably crying into their pillow.
That's right.
You just can't watch anymore.
Right. Okay, so what a stream, Eddie. First 10 minutes we were just talking to ourselves, thinking we were live.
It was just the warm-up. I think we should do it more. Just a little warm-up rehearsal.
And then the microphones died like halfway through. Luckily, I think we caught that pretty quickly. I think.
Yeah.
But now it's almost been an hour. But it hasn't really, because a lot of it's been us just messing up. So we did the graphics, we did the April Fool's video, we talked about the upcoming events.
Time for trivia, maybe?
Let's do trivia.
Stuff away. Ooh.
Tyler, what a lot of people do is after April 1st passes, they put April 1st in the title to let people know. Because, I could do that, but I also think it's really funny for people to get mad about it.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Oh, you can insert the end of the video, Happy April 1st. So, you know what I mean? They still have to.
I don't think I can edit into the video because it's already out there in the world.
It's published,
Rob says, sorry I'm late, had to finish separate. Well, we've been waiting for you, Rob.
Jeez.
Now the stream can start officially. It would defeat the purpose of an April Fool's video. You're right, Rob. Okay, we're going to do another giveaway.
Yes.
So, if you are just joining us, and this is the first stream that you've joined us for, we're going to ask a question pertaining to our videos. And be the first person to answer correctly, and you'll get a shirt. We ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
This is
you
the
guys
answer.
ready?
I said a second ago, five minutes ago, that I was detecting with my friend Vern, and I was animating this, electricity coming out of his metal detector. What is the big thing we found on our first trip together? Go. Find of a lifetime.
Yep.
Mason, Merck, metal detecting, Jim and Mason.
Wow.
So you guys can head on over to the website, gmmd.us, and then pick something you like. We have kid sizes, Mason, and then email me. You know my email address. Let me know size, color, all that stuff. Yeah, so let me tell the story of Vern. Somebody just messaged me on Facebook the answer. You must be watching. Yeah, there's a live chat. If you're watching this and you just messaged me on Facebook, there's a live chat on YouTube. The answer there. Yeah, so let me tell you the story of Vern. Email me, Jim and Mason. So he emails me and he's like, hey, I think I've got this pretty good permission in this town. And I was like, oh, that just so happens to be like right next door to my town. And it's a very historic town, like very historic. And we show up. And there's the building, and then there's some woods, and then there's like a pasture, and then there's like a fairly mowed yard. You know anything about this? No. Okay. It is, how can I explain where it is to you without explaining it to the audience? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So we spent some time in the woods because there's like this old tavern from like Revolutionary War times, like a very famous tavern in our area, right? Is that okay? So we were in the woods there. And then we went out into the pasture, and we found a couple coppers and some kind of 19th century stuff. And then we went inside and asked the owner, like, can we go in this grassy area where it's like all mowed and everything? And then I find a copper, and I'm like down on my knees doing the camera thing, talking about the copper. And then Vern comes over to see like what I found. And this is like, it's not technically the first time he's used a metal detector because he's owned one for several years, but he just kind of like went in his yard and he didn't really know how to use it. So I was showing him how to use it. He didn't have a pinpointer, so I was digging his holes for him, and I was using my pinpointer to help him retrieve the targets faster. And so he comes over to see my copper, and his metal detector beeps like 3 feet away from me. And then I get up and I go and I dig the hole for him, and I pinpoint it, and it ended up being an elk. No, an 8 real.
Whoa.
What is it? 1793.
Oh, she's
and that's
gorgeous.
Vern. So Vern didn't initially want to be in the videos, but then he gave me permission for him to be in the videos. But I didn't film him, so I was like, well, maybe next time. But that was him and his 8 real. Technically our 8 real, right? Because we found it together. His metal detector beep. I dug it up. And a lot of people in the comments were like, that guy has no etiquette for metal detecting, right? Because when you find something, there's this unspoken etiquette of like the perimeter around you. It's kind of taboo for other people to come by metal detecting, right? So say like I found a coin, like the area immediately around me, some say would be off limits. Because maybe it was a coin spill, right? You wouldn't want somebody to come over and take up the rest of your coin spill. But in that particular instance, it didn't matter because everything we found was going to the landowner. We didn't get to keep any of it. And we knew that going into it. That was the deal to get on this very historic property. We were like, that's fine. Like, we just want the opportunity to metal detect here. I get a video out of it, and it was totally worth it. We actually went back again, and then we found a bunch more stuff. I found the Walking Liberty $50, a bunch of jewelry and stuff. And we did go back a third time, but actually didn't find anything. we like, I don't know if we just didn't have luck that time or what. But this landowner owns other properties in that town, and we will be continuing, Vern and I, on these other historic properties, which I think, because of the nature of where it is, we will, from doesn't happen very often on my channel. We actually will explain exactly where we are in the history of it.
How does someone else get in on this?
You just got to know the guy. You just got to know this Brad guy, and maybe somebody else can be invited.
Okay.
But you have to have your own metal detector. That works.
Eddie Pascucci at your service. Owner of metal detector.
Yeah, so Vern and cause I was like, Vern like wanted to go again, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be in Bermuda for a week, and then I was at Bone for a week, but now I'm back, and we're gonna hopefully link up with Vern again and find some more 8 reals, maybe, who knows. Dirt Life says he was using a Fisher F22. That's what I started with 5 years ago. Yeah, so he has a Fisher. I think you're right. It was an F22 because I started with an F2, Fisher F2. And I mean, it works fine. I don't think there were any targets that I got because we were working very closely together because I was teaching him how to use it. And I don't think there was any targets that my Deus 2 got that his couldn't hear on that particular day. Obviously, the 8 real is a huge silver coin. Like, you could find that with dowsing rods probably, right? Like, it was such a loud, obvious sound. You could probably hear it with a pinpointer on top. It was like no missing that for sure. M. Merriman says, I didn't know you had this deal with the landowner for access. Very cool. The finds belong to them. In fact, I believe the landowner, this very much goes against archaeology as a whole. I believe the landowner is going to be auctioning off all of this stuff that we found.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
Because the funding is going to be for this very large anniversary event, which I will likely talk about more coming up. but you might have the ability to buy that 8 real. Maybe I'll buy it because it's the only real one I've ever found. We'll have to wait and see. I was very surprised when the landowner said that they hope to auction all that stuff off.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Usually goes on like display on site there, or it says some museum for historic preservation.
Yeah. Hey. You know? You never know. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock. We're supposed to start at 7. Technical error. Started at 10 after. We'll go a little bit longer, and then we'll do the last giveaway.
It's past my bedtime.
GT says, do landowners ever let you keep anything you find of it is really valuable, if it is really valuable? The funny thing is with landowners, like the story I told earlier, that landowner didn't even want to see anything we found. Like, they couldn't have cared less. And I find it might be, it's not quite 50-50. I think more landowners just don't care. I don't know if it's just like the amount of property they own, but like as people in the hobby of metal detecting, like we know there's possibly things we could find that are valuable, but maybe they just don't even realize, like, oh, what are these guys going to be digging up? Like shotgun shells and you know, like beer cans, and you know, maybe it's partly that. But like I know a couple of the landowners that we've worked with a lot, like they own so much farmland, like they just don't care. Like, yeah, go have fun. Jeanette says, how much is an old 8 real worth? I think you could probably get a couple $100 for that 8 real. Don't quote me on this, but I feel like it's one of the most mass-produced coins ever. Like, it's a very common historically coin. Like, everybody in the world used 8 reals and Spanish currency in general. So there's a lot of them. I think I looked it up on eBay for the landowner, right? She was like, well, how much is this worth? I'm like, I don't know, let's look. I think it was like 150 or $200. Bill Hayes says, very weak audio. I know, we've got, you know, technical errors. Sorry, Bill. Yeah.
I'll speak up. What?
Nothing. I don't think Eddie needing to speak up is the issue. Eddie's got a very loud projecting voice.
Well, thank you. That's the nicest thing someone said to me today.
You're welcome. Yeah, so that 8 real story was a wild one, especially like the negativity that was coming from the comments about how Vern was like a quote unquote bottom feeder, they say, because like he came so close to me. But I
got a confession. I've never even knew that's real etiquette, man.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I mean, I feel like when I see something good coming out, I'm like attracted there. Like, ooh, what's going on around here? Let's take a look. See.
I said that in a response comment to a person that made the initial comment. Was like, me and my friends don't really abide by that.
Oh yeah.
Because we're just like, if Eddie found something awesome 3 feet away from me, like, congratulations, Eddie. Like, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it is. Whoa, super chat.
Jeanette! So here's a bit to get in on that auction.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We missed you at Bone. I don't know if you were there or not. You were a couple years ago. But if you weren't, I didn't see you, I missed you. I'm sorry you weren't. I didn't see you. Still chasing anything other than a half or a 1 real. I'm guessing you mean metal detecting the Northeast USA. I've only ever found halves that I've gotten to keep. Oh no, I have a 1. I have found a 2 that was 1776 that the landowner kept, and then the 8 that the landowner kept. And then I found a counterfeit 8 real, which I didn't know it was counterfeit in the video itself. Like, made it to the end of the video, I thought it was real. And then once I got home, I realized that it was, in fact, not real.
It's fun. That was fun, though.
What?
the whole journey. Well, it was like a whole roller coaster on like, oh man, it's fake. But then it turns out it's more valuable and historic being, right? This is the same one we're talking about. That was a period.
Right.
Counterfeit.
Right. Yeah, it was a period counterfeit. So in the early, I don't know the dates off the top of my head, the early 1800s, Spain and Britain were at war. And Britain was making these counterfeit 8 reals to disrupt Spain's economy. So it was like an act of war, these counterfeit 8 reals. And made it to the United States and made it into the ground in the mountains of Vermont, and I found one. Smokey Joe says, a banana case.
You've just won the next trivia, sir.
Tim says, do you have another job or do you make money metal detecting and YouTubing? Currently, this time of year, most of my income is from YouTube and Facebook and metal detecting. Currently. But in the wintertime, it slows down. Of course, we're just coming off the winter schedule. And I do have a handmade microphone manufacturing business where I make microphones, sell microphones to recording studios and stuff. And in the wintertime, that's busier because I have more time to do that. And then I also record some bands every once in a while. I also make leather stuff, sell that on the website and elsewhere. And I am self-employed. And the nature of being self-employed is that I have income from lots of different directions. Currently. Who knows what tomorrow could bring. All right, let's do the last giveaway. And then we'll chat a little bit more, and then we'll call it a night.
Yeah.
All these technical difficulties have me feeling defeated.
Yes, a little bit.
Okay. Fine. So this, Mason Merck sends $19.99. We want to pay for some of Mason's trivia prize.
Oh.
That defeats the purpose of winning the prize.
Oh, man.
Jim, but thank you. I appreciate that.
That's
and
great.
let's celebrate their first super on a live stream.
What?
Celebrate.
Standing ovation.
New Man says
Awesome.
absent and has a guitar. I don't know who New Man is. Seems like it might be somebody I know in real life. Absent was a metal band that I was in. I think we lost money in that band. Between the audience mostly being our girlfriends and having to travel hours to play in front of nobody. That was a labor of love. What's that?
How about the experience?
That's right. I think that's probably the story with most small town metal bands.
I played in a band where we never had a real bassist, you know that?
Same.
We just always had a friend that's like, hey, so there's a couple songs, it's pretty easy. You ever play bass? No? Let me run you through real quick. It's really easy, like right before. And we always had a different person we'd con into it, or friend. Or
yeah, our bass players were always guitar players that were like, I want to be in a band. I'm like, okay, great, you can play bass with us. And we had 2 or 3 like that. And then we had one bass player that just played our final show. Like he had never played with us ever before. And we're like, you want to play bass with us for our final show? What a mess.
See, that's better. Yeah, we just had random people that, like, I've always wanted to learn guitar. Bass. Like, hey, you're in luck. Just show you a couple things and you'll go up and everything will be great.
Right.
No idea what's going on.
Brandon Jack says, do you sell music? I have a bunch of albums for sale on the internet of some music with me just playing guitar in it, some music just me singing, some music playing guitar and singing, but I'm not going to tell you what they are. And nobody's bought them in many years. But they are there, available to buy. Okay. Final giveaway.
Are you ready?
So this is going to be Adventure Archaeology. Evening, guys. Time for y'all to come out of hibernation from the long winter. That's right.
That's right. It is.
It was actually a very nice winter up here.
Yeah.
I think I only ran my snowblower twice.
Yeah.
And I was able to go metal detecting, I think, at least once every month. January, February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty easy winter. Winter was very kind to us.
It was. I didn't get a lot of videos filmed, but it was nice not having to run the snowblower. Okay, final trivia question of the night. This is going to be the most difficult because I found this item this last week, and the video has not published yet, but I did post a picture with an explanation of what this thing is on Facebook. So if you are a YouTube person and you are not a Facebook person, maybe you should go check out the Facebook page and hit the follow button. I'm still trying to build up the audience over there because it's been stuck at around 70,000 for 2 years. Here it comes. And this includes a photo.
I was about to say, is that really?
All right, so this is Vern. That's not it. So if you can tell me what this is, then you can win the prize. Go. And we're going to circle back around to something in a second. Okay. Tyler. Matt. So here's the thing. Tyler and Matt, you guys, I was with you last week. We were together. I don't know if that disqualifies you, but Ben Harper answered correctly before I even asked the question, which I feel like should also not count.
I was like,
So what do we do?
Ben.
So Ben won before I even asked the question, and then Tyler and Matt also answered correctly.
Can we get like a random number generator from like 1 to 3 on who did it and just roll the dice? Was that fair to leave it in the hands of fate?
I'll tell you what.
Or bonus question.
Okay, Ben has given up his win. He said, "I have a ton of t-shirts already." Tyler, I feel like I'm gonna let Tyler and Matt win because Tyler has been a supporter. He sends super chats basically every stream, and Matt was a blast to hang out with this last week. So Matt and Tyler, go to, hang on, let me get the website, my website, jimfifty.us, pick out a shirt or a hoodie or what, tank top, whatever you want, and then email me what you want, and I'll get both of you the prize.
Very well.
For the chicken blinders. Right. So if we go back to this, I found one of these, and this is the first one I've ever found. I was like, oh, heck yeah, cufflinks, like Matt found. But they are unfortunately not cufflinks. Not shown is in that thinner part there, there's actually a cotter pin that goes through there. And those things are called chicken blinders or chicken blinkers or peepers. And what they do is they cover the front-facing view of a chicken to prevent egg eating and feather plucking of their sisters. Which is actually something we had a problem with when we had chickens. We had one egg eater that
that's useful.
they would just like peck and destroy all of the eggs before we had a chance to go out and collect them. Apparently these blinders would prevent that.
Wow.
That was a silly giveaway with Ben and Matt and Tyler all first. All right. I stopped writing down people's names. I forgot who won this one and this one, but we've got Matt and we've got Tyler. Funny. I was with another group of guys, Phil and Tom, and I forget who it was. I think it was Phil found the chicken blinders, and I was like, "Oh, I know what those are. I saw a video of somebody else finding them," and but I had never found one myself. But at Bone, I found 4 sets. I guess if you've got like a flock of 1,000 chickens and they all have blinders on, they're bound to lose some, right?
Yeah, that only makes sense. That's a good idea, though. I mean, I see the need. I see the need.
Well, I mean, horses have blinders too, but it's for a different
reason.
Different reason. It's the side, right?
Yes.
Right, not front.
Right.
That would be dangerous. Tyler, not sure if you've done this in the past, but you should have a vinyl album made of some of your music you use on the channel and sell it. Yeah, you know, when you get albums duplicated, which, you know, gonna age myself here a little bit, but when I first started out, you know, the big thing was getting CDs duplicated, right? But nobody buys CDs anymore, right?
I buy CDs.
Well, you're right.
A weirdo.
But I'm like, I feel like CD players are going out of fashion.
They are.
Like, these are all the
That's fair to
CDs
say.
that I've had the pleasure of working on. But back to my story, you used to get CDs duplicated, and you'd get like 1,000 of them, and then you'd pass them out to shows, and you'd sell them and mail them out and everything. And it was expensive. And you'd have to like charge enough to get your money back, at least, when you get CDs duplicated. Vinyl's even worse. I can't even imagine what it would be to buy, because you'd have to do it in mass. You'd have to get like 1,000 or 2,000 of them pressed to make it economical. And then what do you sell a vinyl of just like I don't think I would personally have the ability to move 1,000 vinyl records, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That's a tall order. Yeah.
Brandon says vinyl's back. I'm with you. I've got a record player and some vinyl, but I don't think I could personally have the draw to sell that many pieces of vinyl. Maybe CDs will come back.
Yeah, I think so. What about another step? Cassette tapes.
One of my bands that I
Remember
like
cassette
released
tapes,
cassette
yeah.
tapes recently.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I do have CD players. I have a CD player in my car. I do not have a cassette player, I don't think, anywhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to do some deep digging. And maybe find one.
I definitely don't have any VHS players.
Oh, yeah.
I have VHS tapes,
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say I'm in the same boat. I have VHS
but I do not have any
video tapes, but
8 tracks. A bunch of people are talking about 8 tracks. I missed 8 tracks. I'm too young for 8 tracks. But aren't 8 tracks just cassette tapes, but only 8 tracks? I mean, essentially. I mean, there's a different form factor, but it's still the same technology as a cassette, I think. Anyway.
I don't know.
All right, folks. We did all of our giveaways. I think I talked about all of the things that I wanted to talk about. Coming up, I have 3 videos on deck. I have some plans coming up of some really excellent metal detecting spots. Maybe Eddie will be able to join me on those.
I would love to join you. Let's do it. We'll make a date and we'll do it.
And now that he lives literally 1 minute down the road from me.
Yeah, you could just go and kidnap me and then I'd have to metal detect the day.
That's right.
Yeah.
People are still talking about VHS tapes and cassette tapes and 8-track tapes. All right, folks. If you were here from the beginning, thank you so much for bearing through the technical difficulties. I don't promise, but I'll try my best. For the fall live stream, we'll have all of these kinks evened out, straightened out. Tyler, another $5.
What?
You're buying your own merchandise here. If I'm remembering correctly, doesn't Eddie have a Chewbacca or Bigfoot costume? If so, Chewbacca has that belt. You should make a banana holder belt.
It's only fitting tomorrow's Star Wars Day, you know.
Oh, it is May the 4th.
May the 4th. Yeah.
Oh.
In fact, I'm already celebrating. I have on me now my R2-D2 socks. Got my Boba Fett ones for tomorrow.
Do you have a Chewbacca costume?
I have, yes and no. I have a zip-up one-piece pajama set that's like a furry Chewbacca look with the strap. And I have a Stormtrooper one and a Darth Vader one.
So I'm going to spill the beans on this because we've been talking about it for 10 years and we've never done it.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So Eddie and I have been talking about for years, from the beginning, possibly.
Don't we have one within our possession now?
No.
Or in our grasp?
Is we were going to purchase a Bigfoot costume or a gorilla costume. And our friend Corey, who was Perry in the show, in Grave of Gold, is 6'9". He's a huge dude.
Very big dude.
He's a huge dude. And we were like, we're going to get this guy a gorilla costume. And in a metal detecting video, just a random metal detecting video, we were just going to have him walk behind us and just not talk
no
about
acknowledgement of it. It's
Just
just
never
there,
acknowledge.
and yeah.
And just let the audience see it and be like, of course I would see it if I was editing the video, right? So that part you would need some suspension of disbelief there. or suspension of belief, but we've been talking about doing that for years. And we were actually at Bone or Digstock, and we were around the campfire, and Eddie found one on eBay, and you missed the bid.
Yeah, I missed the bid. That's what it was. Yeah, right. We woke up too late, or we got on the road, and yeah.
I think it was the night that we showed up to the state campground too late, and we couldn't buy firewood, so we were just like running around the woods collecting wood.
Oh, that's right.
And then we finally got the fire started and started eating dinner, and we're like, no, we missed it.
Yeah, it was a busy night. I do remember that. That was a lot of.
So anyway, that's what the Chewbacca costume reminded me of. Also, you mentioned May the 4th, Star Wars Day. May the 5th is Anna's Day, Anna Pendant Day. That's her birthday. So over on Facebook, it's going to be a marathon of the finding video, the genealogy video, the wrap up going to the property the second time video, shorts of finding the thing, photos, and all that stuff. All day is going to be Anna stuff.
That's awesome.
What else did I want to cover? Let me jump to my photos here. There's some photos I wanted to include. Oh yeah, here's some finds from Bone. Didn't do too bad, right? Got a little silver earring, a couple
awesome.
silver Mercury diamonds, Walking Liberty. Nice. There's the chicken blinders over there. I got a couple of buffalo nickels. It was an excellent
good haul, man.
Event.
Really good haul.
If you are in the southern New Hampshire area, excellent event to attend. It's usually 5 days long. There was a banquet. I don't know if I sent you any photos of this. It was like a wedding, fully catered. There was a musician playing. They gave away awards and stuff. It was the first one I've ever been to. Totally exceeded my expectations of what that was going to be. Really, really nice. Oh, and while we're at it, we're trying to end it here, but I keep on seeing all these photos. So I found this. Okay.
Sorry, I saw a comment that said May 5th is Revenge of the 5th.
Don't get Eddie going on Star Wars. So, Eddie.
Yes.
Without having any context, this is the first time you've ever seen this photo, right? Mm-hmm. From right to left, we have a whistle. Mm-hmm. Up and right at where the whistle attaches to the keychain ring, there's the little deer emblem for, what is it? For Browning, I think it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We've got the tag that says "Enjoy the hunt, find your way back to me." Then we have a deer antler that was also a whistle, and then all the way over to the left there is a lanyard keyback, like a keychain lanyard. Okay. Wow. What do you think that is? And then I will tell you what the overwhelming majority of what the comments on Facebook said.
I think, it's clearly a whistle.
Right.
On the right, so that's like an emergency one. Maybe they fashioned the antler into some kind of deer call, or had like a separate piece.
As a whole, what do you think that is?
I mean, it's like, and there's no keys on it or anything. It's just like
there wasn't a key on it, no. But it's
just like a luck charm, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, it's like a keychain, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you've got the lanyard, the string lanyard.
Yeah.
And then you've got two whistles and a little
it's obviously a keychain, but
okay. 95% of the comments were like, "That is a dog's grave. Go rebury it."
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how you figure that.
From this photo is what what they got from
only thing that could feasibly be applied to a dog is maybe the whistle that's going on here.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing on there related to dogs except maybe the whistle.
That's weird. I wonder how they figured that.
I don't know, but people were very angry with me. Like,
wow,
you have disturbed the man's best friend's grave,
the goodest boy's grave. Jeez.
And you need to put it back.
Okay.
But what I say to that is, it was in the middle of a hayfield. Like, what a terrible spot for a dog's grave. And it was like an inch down. And there was nothing like if it was like a dog tag, like with like said Fido on it, maybe.
Yeah, a little different story, I guess. So
anyway, that was my quick rant.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's totally conclusive that that's a dog's grave.
Oh, and another thing I forgot. Okay, we're gonna skip off the dog's grave for now, and we're gonna go to this photo right here.
Oh, look at that! What do you got going on here? Is that a little spoon handle?
So you can see the date right there, right? April 26th, 2014. So that was a few days ago. What is it? 5 days ago? No, a little bit more than that.
But 10 years ago.
Exactly 10 years ago, a week ago, was my first time ever metal detecting.
Wow.
Yep, those are my first finds metal detecting.
Those are honestly good finds
Not
for
right?
like a first time out. That's
my
exciting.
Mercury dime, an old police button.
Jeez.
Conestoga bell, very easy to find. But look at the comments over there. Can you see them? First comment, Eddie Pascucci.
Nectar, baby! Yeah! I love it!
Okay. Then we've got... Oh, no. Eddie's sick again. And then we've got Chris Rates. Our friend Chris. Turn that dime into a ring.
Ah!
I was making quarters into
You
rings
know this
back
is a
then.
relic because I don't do Facebook, right?
Right. Okay. And then... Rick Nice is my father-in-law. Nice finds. Corey Brush is Perry.
Yeah!
Oliver Perry.
Oh my.
Was that in your backyard? Maybe that's what my dog was digging back there. And then I said our house was built in 1850.
What a trip.
10 years ago.
What a trip.
All of my friends, they're still the only friends I have in real life, commenting on my first trip metal detecting in my own backyard. And that is the little pile of treasures that has, sent me to where I am today. Wild.
That's still some sick nectar.
Yeah. And it was funny because the reason I got my metal detector out was because I found a mercury dime in my pocket change. I remember getting it from Dunkin' Donuts. I bought a macchiato.
Excellent choice.
Probably an everything bagel with cream cheese. Gave them cash. They gave me my change back, and I got a mercury dime. And I was like, whoa, what is this? Like, is this some foreign coin? Like, I didn't know anything about coins. I was like, but it's like clearly silver. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, this is awesome. And then I got the metal detector, and then the first target I got was another mercury dime. And I was like,
whoa.
Yeah.
Fate. The hands of fate reached out.
And that was just about exactly 10 years ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll have to wait and see where we are 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Will YouTube still exist? Probably.
Maybe. People will all be watching in VR or in like chips in their head, like just their eyes rolled back watching it.
We were actually talking about, this is going on way too long. Sorry, everybody. You have permission to leave if you are done listening to us talk. But listen to my idea, okay? Don't anybody steal it.
Okay.
I was talking to Joe about this at the banquet dinner. We were talking about like what is the next phase of metal detectors, and here's my idea. Here's what I think it should be. Okay. We were talking about why like a Deus type metal detector where the coil and the remote communicate via Bluetooth, right? Why even have the remote? Just make an app for your phone. Because your phone is 100 times smarter, faster processor, all of that stuff, than anything they're going to be able to put into a metal detector unit, right? Have an app, charge monthly, charge annually, whatever you want. The app in your phone is the metal detector. It communicates to your coil. You can have automatic updates. You can have the GPS from your phone intertwined with that.
Can I customize my chimes and beeps? And
sure.
Sweeps.
You can take photos of your finds very easily, right? You can map your photos of your finds on the GPS map. You can overlay it with historic maps. You can do all of that stuff right in your unit, right? But here's the crazy part, right? We are coming so far now with the VR headsets, right? Have you seen any of the footage of the Apple headset?
None.
Okay. So what's wild about this VR headset is it does such good spatial computing where you can take like a video screen, right? So you have like a YouTube video playing, right? And you can grab it and you can put it on the wall right here. You can put it on my door, okay? And so you look at, and there's a video, well, you have your headset on, right? You look and the video's on the door, right? And you look away and you look back and it's still there, right? You can walk out the door into a different room, upstairs,
Right.
and then back down, and it'll still be in the same spot.
Okay.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. That's
How
very
about this? You're in a field, right, with the headset on, or or whatever the future
And
of
you
the headset
plant
is.
a marker, or like.
And you look at the ground, and everywhere your coil swipes turns red and stays red.
Oh my gosh.
And so you can
I'm
see
invested.
exactly everywhere your coil has been.
We need to stop talking about this on the air, all right? We need to write.
You're going to have to buy a $3,000 headset first. But
Oh, forget that. Never mind. You guys can have it.
But
Ooh.
what if you could do that? What if your phone could have that kind of spatial computing where it could remember where your coil has been in real time, and so that you don't swipe your coil over the same spot twice? I think maybe Apple needs to hire me as an idea man,
Yeah.
because that would be game changing.
That would be probably the biggest game changing thing since I don't know, we got out of the 80s with metal detectors.
Sure.
Wow.
I bet you could do it without a headset, though. I bet you could do it just within your phone.
Talk to Elon. Yeah. Elon. Does anyone know Elon? Any connections to Elon Musk here?
Yeah. Maybe, how about this? Maybe you could just sit in your chair and you could put on your headset and you could have a drone with a metal detector and you could just
Dude, yes.
fly around. And then you could have a second drone with a shovel that just like digs it up for you.
Yeah.
Maybe you could just automate them and just not do it, and they just go out and do it for you.
I mean, it sounds pretty boring, and I wouldn't be very interested in that. But
Oh, David, just drip paint everywhere you go. That's an idea too. Just like have your metal detector be like a paintbrush.
yeah.
I mean, you could definitely do that. But then the grass would literally be red.
Yeah, that's true. We'd have a hard time finding landowners okay with us.
That's right.
Using their property as a canvas and somewhere to dig holes.
Well, how about this? How about the metal detector is actually also a weed whacker, and you let the grass grow a bit, right? And then you can see you're killing two birds, right?
Yeah,
You're
okay.
mowing and metal detecting.
That's brilliant.
I think I like my first idea more.
But your second wasn't bad.
All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed the live stream tonight. For folks watching this at a later time, you're probably not going to see this part because we're going to cut it for our intellectual property to make sure it doesn't get out into the world, you know.
Everyone gets emailed an NDA tonight.
I'm going to start soldering as soon as we turn off the stream here. Get to work on this idea. No, thanks, folks, for joining us. Thank you for the continued support on the channel. I hope that you enjoy the videos coming up this year. I'm going to try to continue to innovate things like the sliding scale at the top of the screen, fireworks coming out of the coil. Who knows what's going to be coming up in the future. I'm always trying to make the videos better in some way. I'm now carrying 3 cameras, editing them all together, lav mics when they work, and just, you know, I don't know if more equipment is the answer, but I'm trying to make them as good as I can.
I think they're great.
Hey, thanks, Eddie.
I think they're even better when I'm there.
I agree. We're going to try to make some more of those this year.
That's right. See you soon.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. I will see you next week, I think, for the Drained Lake video. We'll see what is coming up. And then we'll catch you at the fall live stream in November.